Rivers, ponds, lakes and streams, they all have different names, but they all contain water. Just as religions do, they contain truths.
Every river has a story of people, a story of religion, a story of animals. This is the story of the Zambezi River, a river that became a lake that would cause displacement of people and animals alike.
This Lake Kariba, I find it was constructed from 1955 1957 and it started filling from 1958 to 1963.
When the lake started filling up, there was need to relocate both people and animals.
History tells us that the relocation process itself was more chaotic. It favored more animals than people. And we can understand because that was a colonial mentality, that where there was economic interest, the black human interest came second.
When the river started flooding back, it was not only the Batonga who found themselves without a home. This huge rhinoceros was as angry as the Batonga people at the prospect of displacement. It was ready to fight with the perpetrators. But alas, the colonial Rhodesians were determined to see their project through. Like the Batonga, defiance did not help the wild animals either. They were subdued and relocated upland. Many species of plant and animal were lost during the construction of the Kariba Dam Wall. But many were rescued too. This would see the launch of the most daring feat of animal rescue in the history of mankind.
When the construction of the dam began, the then authorities started mopping up animals and moving them to higher ground.
This was dubbed Operation Noah, in resemblance to the biblical story of Noah and the Ark. Huge animals and small animals were rescued alike. After the rescue and displacement of animals and humans, one creature of mystery remained in the lake. According to the Batonga legend, once upon a time, there was a Tonga river god called Nyami Nyami.
The word Nyami Nyami, if we are to go to the genesis of this word, it's actually a corruption of the original word of the Tonga people, Simwawa. So this river god was called Simwawa, which means the provider or the one who shares with others. And from that, we can actually see the connotations of the role and place of Nyami Nyami in the lives of the Tonga people. Nyami Nyami is believed to be the provider because it is believed that in times of drought, Nyami Nyami would expose part of his body and people would cut strips of meat from him without necessarily killing him, but just getting the meat from him. And without being blasphemous, this story of the Nyami Nyami is reminiscent of the biblical manna from heaven experienced by the Israelites as they were passing through a desert.
The Nyami Nyami was known by different names in different areas along the Zambezi.
The role of the Nyami Nyami should never be underestimated, and the impact of Nyami Nyami on the Tonga people should also be taken seriously, because as you can see, even other tribes outside Tonga communities have names for Nyami Nyami. For example, the Shonas, who they interacted with later in life, refer to Nyami Nyami as Jeka Usie, Jeka Wacheka, which to us is a serious statement with regards to the impact of Nyami Nyami on the lives of the Tonga people. So you can actually see how important this river god was. There are a lot of misconceptions that have been woven around this very important river god to the Tonga people. Many people have said the Tongas believed in Nyami Nyami as the final god, but this is not true. We want to deconstruct that misconception because it distorts the culture and history of the Tonga people. The Tonga people believed in the Most High God, and they had this name, Leza, to describe the omniscient, omnipresent, and omniscient God. So the Tonga River God is not the final God. He is just one like the ancestors. He is a mediator between the people and the final God, who is Leza in this case. So the Tonga River God should be understood in the concept of a medium who just was a conveyor belt between the people and God.
The Zambezi River was sacred to the Batonga people as it was a habitat for their river god. But was this practice unique only to the Batonga people?
This belief in the river gods and in rivers is not unique to the Tonga people. Whilst the Tonga River God, Nyami Nyami, is unique to the Tonga people, the belief in water, the belief in rivers as having divine powers is not exclusive to the Tonga people. So there is a synergy of Greek mythology and Tonga tradition.
In Greek mythology, there was a river god known as Poseidon. While in ancient Roman faith, there was a river god known as Neptune. Did these gods really exist?
This also brings us to two schools of thought with regards to the Nyami Nyami. One school of thought argues that Nyami Nyami really existed and is a god who saved the Tonga people in his role as a provider and a protector of the Tonga people. And the other school of thought which argues that Nyami Nyami never really existed. Whenever we are talking about the Nyami Nyami, we are dealing with issues of religion. And it is very important for us to know that issues of religion the world over cannot be mathematically or scientifically tested. It's not something that we can take to the lab. Issues of religion have to do with faith. So the believer knows it all and knows best. the Tongas, in this regard of the Nyami Nyami, know best.
Nyami Nyami, gachabanga suno chintu chatali kupona pe. Pesi Nyami Nyami, ndizimu ya mulonga wabatonga kasamba bezi. Mizimu oyo walanzira zoali kulibone zoali kulitondezi yanzizyo. Kuindira muzikindo zibali kuchita. Ibatonga ikapati oyo mugowa wakalangena achindo chepundulo elyo. Gamboka kuti tuli kubumpulisya izikindo zyesu. Kuindira mukuilingana aimwe misyobo na alumwi lwiyo ndutuli kujana. Ngatwazo katu serezya ibulemu bwazikinga zilengwa zyesu. Shoma kumalembe abuya gebwa damu lyakaliva. Mulajana oti kuli zikindo zyakachitwa mpalya. Kuli kupindira kwa kachitwa mpalya. Kuli chindi chwa kafukigwa loko akuya kwa bulambobya. Pesi kuindira mukukumbira kubanga kwakazoba mwenyo oti damu lyali yakwe limani nini. So zimwe zinzira nzito akapindira nzizyo. Imasani nongi tuli kuchita mu mulonga chimwe chindi. Ngataenderani pa azimu area. Twabwinda amingwimba. Imingwimba ilamwe emawazyo wayo itaenderani pa azimu area. So mulajina oti izimu ngalyafutika lyaniga. Talichizwa ntangana nabe.
You would know that around 1957, 1958, when the Kariba demo was constructed on Kaliwa Gorge, which is now called Kariba, it is believed that Nyami Nyami lived on that very gorge. And as fate would have it, when the Italians came with this development in courts, because for the Tonga people it was not a development, because remember the belief of the Tonga in the Nyami Nyami and the fact that Nyami Nyami lived in the Zambezi River makes the river sacred. So by bringing this modern technology and modern construction to this gorge, it was essentially a desecration of the river, a desecration of Nyami Nyami himself, because today many people would argue, is Nyami Nyami still alive? But it is because of these modern developments that have been blended with this sacred river and this sacred river god that have affected the perception of Nyami Nyami. But Nyami Nyami, for the Tonga people, was very important. And during the construction of this dam, the Tongas invoked the name of Nyami Nyami to make sure that this development or this construction is not successful. So in 1957, there were floods that threatened to destroy the incomplete demo. And in 1958, the floods were really serious, to the extent that around 80 people died, including the foreigners, that is the Italians. They died because of the floods. And for the Tonga people, they looked at this with contentment. But in the end, the communities were later engaged by these developers. And it is only believed that it is after this that the ancestors then and the medium spirits approached their elders and started saying, no, can we have this development done at Kariba? And it was only then that the demo was successfully constructed. The belief in the Nyami Nyami is an indomitable spirit, to the extent that even when the demo was completed, the Nyami Nyami gave a promise that one day the people will go back to the banks of the river. That may mean physically, socially, and spiritually. The Nyami Nyami himself is believed to have been moving in the river, downstream and upstream, serving different riverine communities.
Nyami Nyami oyo melwango tandi muwerepe. Lenda kamuwana pe. Pesi twanonga utakatuli ukuluisu owe yakandiri mulongo. Andakali munini. Panonga bantu munyamo oyo. Ulimu kuya kunselelo oyo. chimichindi manzari yakanonga yapupirimuka chimichindi ngumunyamori wakati kuti uyakuyenda mumanzi chimichindi wanonga wategwa uyakuntagitizyo lino munyama oyu
ibwa sunu ikuti tutedi ndaba wakamubona mulajana kuti twababache kumyaka pesi kuti kakuli bapati bensiku bachipona toba mutu akalubwezera mukumvwa kuli basi anene izikali kuchitika taba chiope bakatusiya so kwazobanga nchintu chabanga manwa anu kuti nchintu chali kupona kambo njinzira njibali kupona ayo basi anene.
In the research that the Batonga Community Museum carried out, we had some elders in communities who actually bore witness to the fact that they actually ate the meat of the nyami nyami. But you find that even among the Tonga communities themselves, there are some Tonga communities who are not familiar with the nyami nyami because they were not living very close to the river. There are some communities that were already living upland, on the upland areas. Those communities, if you ask them, they will tell you or they will confess no knowledge of the nyami nyami. But those who were close to the river will articulate the story of the nyami nyami with passion.
Most people, when they hear or when they refer to the Tonga, they always think about people who were relocated from the Zambezi Valley. But in reality, the Tonga is a very big clan. We have a group that we call Wanamalundu, those that lived on the plateaus prior to the relocation.
Nitubona yukola yamana kwamana kupola manza tulampira ulera ubutega twali kumilonga twakuyaga nkokoko kumulonga.
Now we want to look at the identity of the nyami nyami. This is one controversial area of what nyami nyami really looked like. But for me, this is quite interesting. That makes the subject interesting because, like I indicated earlier on, issues of religion, we cannot pin down the image of nyami nyami in as much as we cannot pin down the image of God, because these are issues of religion. So many images have emerged of nyami nyami, but let me say that no one has the full scope of nyami nyami. No one has the full idea of what nyami nyami really looked like. And for me, that befits a religious figure. No one should have the full scope of a divine deity. So this really makes nyami nyami a religious figure, a Tonga river god. Even those who would say nyami nyami will cross a river, they will say it is as long as is infinitely long. Artists have come up with many different images or captions of nyami nyami. But these captions, let me say, these are just pieces of stories. Remember, the story of the nyami nyami dates back to pre-colonial period. So the only source of information about nyami nyami are the people themselves and their oral traditions. If you look at this caption of nyami nyami, people talk of fish-like, snake-like. And that definition on its own is not definitive. It's not final. So the artists are simply trying to piece together these captions that they are getting from people, different people with their different experiences. And these are normally fishermen who experienced or who saw nyami nyami, who had glimpses of nyami nyami. So the artists are just trying to piece together these images. And obviously, as artists, they will also be trying to make business out of it. But at least those captions, they've managed to put them together. They managed to document them either in artistic expressions or by way of descriptions, and that is very important.
Wali kuboneka kali muka pesi kachiri ndizimu ili ya phundulo ya mulonga wabatonga yali kutondezya ibulemu bwazindi azindi zibali kuyandula abantu kuti lino unonga kakuponwa byeni uli butebuzi buli byeni mulonga ula chimo chili byeni kuindira mukupona ngo bali kupona mbuli bantu ba mulonga.
But for us as a museum, the Nyami Nyami is here. Here is the Nyami Nyami walking stick, which is symbolic of the package of Tonga life, the package of the richness of Tonga culture. This Nyami Nyami walking stick stands as an artistic expression in the absence of documentation of the Tonga culture. This walking stick is not popular for its utilitarian value, but for its symbolic value. You will never find someone walking using the Nyami Nyami walking stick as a walking aid. If you look carefully at this walking stick, you will see that the head is that of the Nyami Nyami. If you also look just below the head of the Nyami Nyami, you will see the fish. By virtue of being a riverine people, you will understand why the fish are part of their culture, of their diet. You also, just below the fish, you also see people who are probably worshipping, and that was very important in terms of their religion. And you also see this part which reflects on the shrines. This is very important because you will find that there were a lot of shrines and sacred places along the banks of the river that were committed to the Nyami Nyami. So the communities, the Tonga communities, had these shrines and even pools. Pools also formed the part of sacred places. There were a lot of pools on the river, and these pools had names. So all these sacred places and shrines were a commitment and a sign of allegiance to their Tonga river god.
The ancient Greeks had ponds and streams dedicated to their river god Poseidon as sacred places of worship.
But if you look at from from the bottom going upwards, you also see up to this end, it looks a smoking pipe. Remember, a smoking pipe is also a very important gadget that the Tonga people developed for their smoking. So this walking stick is loaded with meaning, with cultural meaning, with spiritual meaning for the Tonga people. So this walking stick is very important insofar as it gives us a brief or the highlights of Tonga life.
Mwaswidizga mimbo niba imba kana niba bandauga bapati mlajina oti bayo magaba bandauga ibukale bwa mu mulonga ibulemu bwa mulonga mbuli twambe mbuli malira wali kwamba kubwe pati kubwe lyamba lili umulonga. So zionse zikali zikindo zikali kulidirana anzi abulemu bwa mulonga azimu ya mulonga utegwa Nyami Nyami.
Many academics have created a lot of controversy and obviously interest in the Nyami Nyami, the Tonga river god. And as a consequence, a number of theories have emerged about Nyami Nyami. The first theory, there are three theories. The first theory is that we have one Nyami Nyami who moved along the river and saved these riverine communities who were mostly the Tonga people. So the belief is that when he went downstream, this is when the Kariba Dam was constructed, and obviously that limited his powers because now he was confined in one area. The second theory is that there were two Nyami Nyamis, one a husband and the other was a wife who lived on the gorge. So when the dam was constructed, the husband had gone upstream and the wife had gone downstream. And obviously this affected the sacred Zambezi River and the sacredness of the Nyami Nyami. And this is symbolic of the disintegration of Tonga culture itself, which was visited on the culture by the development of this dam. So the proponents of this theory also argue that the earth tremors that are normally experienced in the proximity of the Kariba Dam are a result of the force by the two Nyami Nyamis to reunite.
In Greek mythology, the river god Poseidon, the wife called Amphitrite, who was a marine goddess. While in Roman mythology, the river god Neptune had a wife called Salacia, who was a goddess of leaping spring water.
The third theory argues that it cannot be a Nyami Nyami and wife without children. It is a whole family of Nyami Nyamis. So the third theory argues that it's a family of Nyami Nyamis that is in the Zambezi River, and the construction of the dam affected this family, in as much as the physical construction of the dam also affected families along the banks of the river, and now we have some Tongas in Zambia and others in Zimbabwe.
The Greek river god Poseidon was believed to have many children. Amongst them, there was Nelus and Triton.
All these theories put together, what is not controversial is the fact of the role and place of Nyami Nyami. The belief in the sacredness that is attached to the Zambezi River meant that the Tonga people practiced conservation on this river because they revered it as a divine river.
Whether myth or fact, the story of the Nyami Nyami lives on in Binga. Join us in the next episode as we look at how the river sustains human life. I am Eldrina Mdenda, Dwarumba.